What made psychologists interested in studying resilience? In the 1970s, the Hawaiian island of Kauai was really economically depressed. There was a lot of alcohol abuse and other abuse, and it was a challenging place to grow up. Yet, there were some children on this Hawaiian island that not only survived, they thrived. And the psychologists in the 1970s were really interested about this. What made these children resilient? What allowed them to have inner strength? And what allowed them to bounce back despite the challenging circumstances? My name is Tia Graham, and I'm an inspirationist and the founder of Arrive at Happy. I am delighted to be with APA Colorado in 2020, and I want to thank Michelle Stevens for having me. Are you ready to supercharge your resilience and your success? I want you to know, I want you to believe that you can always cultivate and grow more resilience. And by doing so, you're going to increase your personal and your professional success. Bouncing back is a choice. I'd like to share a story with you today about someone who's really close to me that I saw bounce back. When I was 10 years old, my parents were going through a really, really difficult divorce. They were fighting over money. They were fighting over custody. It was really, really difficult. And as you can imagine, it was really difficult for a 10-year-old child. And there might be someone that you know that's going through a really difficult time right now. My happy-go-lucky dad was extremely stressed, was extremely beaten, was just really, really down, as it had been years of this separation and going through this divorce, a lot of emotional turmoil. And I remember my happy-go-lucky dad, and then I remember seeing that that light was no longer there. And it was really scary. I remember one day coming down the steps on his birthday, and there was music in the kitchen, and I could smell waffles being made. It smelled like bacon. It smelled like fresh orange juice. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Tia. Wow, Dad, happy birthday. You seem great today. You know, Tia, I have had 2 really, really bad years. And I woke up today and I decided I don't want to have another bad year. Wow, Dad, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I'm really happy too. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move forward. From that day on, he had a new energy. He was playing uplifting music. And although the events in his life were still really challenging, he chose to bounce back. He could have stayed in that low place, but he chose for himself, for his children, he chose to go down a new path. And although sometimes life is really difficult, 2020 has been really challenging for so many of us around the globe. You can always make a choice to start moving in a new direction. The challenging events are the ones that make us stronger. The difficult events are the ones that make you wiser. I am who I am because of the ups and downs in my life. And you are who you are because of the struggles and the joys. Here is our path for today to cultivate more resilience and more success. Number one, that bouncing back is a choice. Number two, human connection is the number one predictor of happiness. And number three, I'm going to give you a resiliency toolbox, and that toolbox is always available for you. Here are 4 different ways that will support you in consciously making a choice to bounce back when things are really challenging. And we all know that you're going to continue to have challenges in life. It's a part of this journey. The first one is I want you to remind yourself, to always remind yourself that you can cultivate more resilience. You're never there in terms of how much resilience you have. It's something you can always grow. Number 2, I want you to see stress as a challenge. People who see stress as a challenge are better able to deal with the stresses in their life. Number 3, when you are dealing with a big event and you have a place that you want to get to, you have a goal in the future. Instead of focusing on this giant goal in the future, I want you to break it down into small, bite-sized tasks and focus on those little tasks every day, every week. And by moving forward on those small tasks, you're going to continue to have the motivation to move forward towards the large goal. And I also want you to have a habit of accepting that you're going to have different mental and emotional experiences. You're not always going to feel joyful. You're not always going to feel excited. Sometimes you will feel stressed. Sometimes you will feel anxious. And just make a habit of knowing that this is a part of the experience. Human connection is the number one predictor of happiness. And human connection is an energy exchange between two people who know each other and who support each other. Years ago, I was the director of sales and marketing at the W Hollywood Hotel. I had been in the position for 3 months, and let me tell you, I was beyond stressed and beyond challenged. The hotel was not doing well financially. There was massive turnover with the managers, with the hourly employees. We were having customer complaints, and the owners were down our neck every single day. I was working around the clock, and I had no idea how I was going to turn this hotel around. My sales team was overwhelmed, was demotivated, and we were just not winning. And I didn't even have time, what it felt like, to breathe. I remember one night driving home. It was probably 9:30 at night. I was just exhausted, pain in my back from the stress, and just feeling completely overwhelmed. I walked into my West Hollywood apartment, and my husband was sitting there at the dining room table working on his laptop. And I collapsed on the couch. And I was just saying over and over, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I don't think I can turn this hotel around. Tears started slowly coming down my face. He walked over to me and sat next to me on the couch, putting his hand on my leg. You can turn this hotel around. Tia, this hotel needs you. You are the 3rd director of sales and marketing here, and the owners need you. You have everything inside of you. You have exactly what it takes to motivate this team and to have financial success. You think so? You think I can do this? Because I feel like I'm being strangled by the owners. I feel like I don't have any space or capacity to do what I need to do to be successful. Here's what I think you should do, Tia. Email your boss, Leon, right now and ask him to meet in the morning. I want you to walk in there and I want you to tell him what you need so that you can start moving this hotel in the right direction. Really? You think I can walk in there and just demand this is what I need so that I can be successful as the director of sales? Yes, I think that's what you should do. You know what? It's worth a shot. I went to bed that night after emailing my boss, Leon, saying that I would like to meet in the morning. I got up completely full of nerves, but I was committed to having this conversation. And I went and met with Leon and I said, I want to be here in this position. I want to help this sales team succeed. I want to bring a lot of new customers to this amazing hotel, but I am not going to be able to do it with these conditions. I need the owners to give me some space. I can't be on 5 ownership calls and in nonstop meetings. As the director of sales and marketing, I need to be with my sales team. I want to be out talking to our customers. I want to be talking to the guests in the hotel. I believe that I can move this hotel forward, but not in these conditions. And thankfully, I had a really good connection. I had a really great relationship with that boss, Leon. I still do today. And he listened to everything I had to say, maybe relieved that I didn't want to meet to quit because it was such a crazy place to work. He took a deep breath and he looked at me and he said, Tia, I am going to tell the owners to give you space. I am going to tell our management group what your needs are. And together, we are going to create the environment where we can make the hotel sales team thrive. And that's exactly what Leon did. I stayed at the W Hollywood Hotel for close to 2 years. We had unbelievable success. Our sales team thrived. And we worked in collaboration with the owners and with everyone who was operating the hotel. If I was alone trying to go through that situation, I don't know if I would have come out of it as strong as I did. I had the connection with my husband to give me the wind in my sails. I had a connection with my boss where I could be vulnerable and I could be honest with him and trust him. And because of that, even though I was so overwhelmed, I was able to thrive and grow in business. And that was a massive learning experience for me. Let me now teach you how to cultivate more human connection. And when I say human connection, what I mean is spending time with people that you care about and who care about you. The happiest countries in the world are the ones in Scandinavia, Norway, Finland, Denmark, for example. And the residents of these countries spend a lot of time with their friends and family. After work, they will go cross-country skiing, or they'll go out for dinner, or they'll go snowshoeing. I don't know, it's cold up there a lot. The point is, they spend a lot of time during the week with their friends and their family and on their weekends as well. Most of the people in North America say that their friends and their family are the number one most important aspect of their life. Yet, if I were to ask you to look at your weekly calendar, how much time are you spending talking to your friends and family? How much time are you spending seeing them, of course, and this time safely? Do some real reflection. let me give you a framework that will help cultivate more human connection. The first is you have the ability to choose your social circle. No, we don't all get to choose everyone that's in our family. And sometimes there's family members who test us and maybe drain our energy. And I hope you also have some family members that you enjoy talking to a lot as well. But in terms of our social circle, we get to choose who we spend time with. We get to choose who we talk to. We get to choose who we follow on social media and also choose to unfollow. So with this, I want you to really look at the people that you spend time with, the people that you talk to, and ask yourself, when I'm with these people, do they lift me up? When I'm with these people, do I feel drained of energy afterwards? And the idea is that everyone in your social circle lifts you up. And everyone that you spend time with, you lift up as well. Our circle is so, so powerful for building resilience, for having a positive outlook, for having optimism about the future. Our social circle actually can positively influence our physical immune system. It's really, really, really important. So think about your social circle. The next is prioritization. This is looking at how much time you want to spend with your friends and family. And I'm sure that all of you at APA are dedicated to your work. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here at this conference. Yet I also want you to prioritize the people in your life. And if right now, because of COVID-19, because of the economic downturn, because of what's happening politically and environmentally in the country, you might be feeling challenged. I want you to prioritize connecting and spending time with your friends and family in 2020 and moving forward. It will serve you in so many ways. And lastly is this idea of knowing. So when we are married, or we have family members that we've known for a long time, or we have friends that we've maybe known for, let's say 10 or 15 years, we feel as if we know them, and they probably feel like they know us. What science has shown is that when both people in a relationship really get to know each other consistently, so let's say you are talking on the phone with a friend, instead of just catching up and saying this has been going on and here's what's happening and with my life, is asking them questions as if you just met them for the first time and you're trying to get to know them. Same thing with your spouse. Don't assume that your partner is the same person that he or she was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You want to actively try and get to know the people that you are close with, and you also want to be vulnerable and let them get to know you as well. Let's move on to point number 3. You have a toolbox that's available to you 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I was going through a really, really challenging period in my life. I had a 2-year-old and a brand new baby, an executive career in the hotel industry, leading a team, and trying to balance marriage, motherhood, career, health and wellness, friends and family, all of it. And for all the parents listening, I know that you can relate. And for the non-parents, I'm sure you've also been in situations where it just feels like there's so much going on and you can't keep all the balls in the air. I truly, truly felt like I was dropping balls left and right. I felt like I was failing in so many areas, and I certainly didn't feel resilient. I did not feel successful. and I was not feeling happy whatsoever. Now, I've always been a pretty positive, optimistic person, and I've had people ask me throughout my life, where do you get this energy from? How do you stay so optimistic? And around a decade ago is when I first had the idea. Maybe I can help other people increase their well-being, increase their happiness, and increase their success. So when I was in this really low place, struggling in every aspect, I decided to go on what I now think of as a learning journey. I Googled, what makes people thrive? What makes people happy? What makes life worth living? Why are we here? And I accidentally discovered the science of happiness, also known as positive psychology. Positive psychology has been around for about 2 decades. And what it is it's the study of really happy people. Prior to this, psychologists around the globe spent the majority of their time studying people with depression, with bipolar disorder, with schizophrenia. And there's been amazing, incredible improvements in all of these areas and more. And the research is highly valuable. There's also a lot of research for people that maybe aren't extremely low and they're sort of doing okay, which also is really valuable. Now there is all this research on what makes people thrive, and resilience is part of that. So I started studying and learning all about positive psychology. For a year, I spent studying with the Harvard professor, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, who taught happiness at Harvard for years and then left and created his own school, the Happiness Studies Academy. And I learned all about spiritual well-being and physical well-being, intellectual and relational well-being, as well as emotional well-being. And I want you to know there is so many resources available for you. Actually, you can go online right after this and sign up for the Yale Happiness class. It's free, and there's so much incredible information. I continued on my journey, and I discovered that there was a World Happiness Summit, and I attended the first year and coached people through it, and the next year was a speaker on stage. I became extremely interested in the power of coaching, and after working with a business coach on my own, decided to become certified. And coaching is the process of taking people where they are today and moving them forward to where they want to be. And a lot of it is supported by positive psychology and accountability and staying focused on the vision of what you want for your life. And it's powerful and it works. I learned from Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar at Harvard about adult neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, how the adult brain can change through our actions and through our beliefs. And I thought, oh my goodness, how have I not learned about this before? How is this not talked about on a daily basis? There's so much incredible information for adults. And in this day and age, we need it with technology and with the media and with always being on with our smartphones. We need this information. And I then dove into neuroscience and got a certificate in neuroscience. And again, learned more about how we can cultivate resilience and how doing so connects to success. You don't necessarily need to go on this long journey that I've been doing for the past 4 years, but I hope you're motivated to learn a little bit more about it because it will support you, it can support your teams, it can support your friends and your family. And I think we would all agree that what we need right now in 2020 is more resilience and is people helping one another. There are a lot of expensive ways to potentially support you in being resilient. I have an amazing toolbox that I don't think is going to cost you even $1. And this is the Arrive at Happy Resiliency Toolbox. This is a slide you're going to want to take a picture of, and I want you to keep it forever. So in this toolbox are proven, studied, evidence-based tactics that you have at your disposal every single day. And every single one of these tools in your toolbox is proven to make you more resilient, is going to help you bounce back when you're going through those challenges. The first one is sleep. Now, I know people always say, did you get your beauty sleep? Or I got my beauty sleep. No, it's not. It's resiliency sleep, or it's happiness sleep. Adults are supposed to get a minimum of 7 to 9 hours every single night. And although we might think, oh, I'll just catch up on the weekend, you actually can't. Every day is like a new reset. So please prioritize your sleep. Again, it's definitely free. Nutrition. I've studied a lot about the blue zones. The blue zones are the 5 places on Earth where people live the longest, healthiest lives. There are places in Japan and in Europe, and there's actually a place in California as well. And it's interesting because in all of these places, the nutrition is really similar. They eat a lot of fruits and vegetables with healthy grains and healthy protein, and they enjoy their food with their friends and family. Know that food is medicine. And if you're feeling like you need some more inner strength, definitely it is a tool that you can use every single day. I learned about the power of meditation about 4 years ago. There are so many amazing studies on meditation. It is proven to make you more calm. It is proven to make you more resilient. And it actually, if you meditate for 10 minutes a day for 8 weeks straight, it actually will change the prefrontal cortex, the newest part of our brain. And there are many ways you can meditate. There's no wrong way to meditate. You can sit quietly with your thoughts. I like to use a guided meditation. My favorite app is Insight Timer. There's also Calm and Headspace. And know that you can meditate for 1 minute or 2 minutes. It doesn't have to take a large amount of time, but it is a really, really powerful tool. Nature. I'm really, really passionate about nature. This is getting outside, going for a walk, going to the mountains, going to the beach, taking your shoes off when you're on a lawn and feeling the grass in your feet. It's maybe going outside to watch the sunrise or the sunset. Nature is a tremendous, tremendous healer. And when you've been feeling a lot of stress, even if you go outside for 5 or 10 minutes and just close your eyes and feel the sun on your face, or if you've had a really, really stressful week, go out and walk in nature for 3 or 4 hours. And it's an amazing way for stress recovery. I love the next one. Humor. So please, please, during this time of crazy 2020, do not watch anything that is depressing right now or maybe scary right now. To every single one of my clients and all the companies that I'm working with, I say, bring humor into your life. My husband and I love to watch stand-up comedy. You can watch funny videos on YouTube. You can read a funny book. You can hang out with children because they're always laughing. And also you can laugh at yourself when you make a mistake at work, when you stumble here and there, just laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself so seriously. The next one is maybe you've had a really stressful morning and you're just, it's noon and you're like, oh, I could just stop working right now. Put in your earphones and listen to music for 5 or 10 minutes. When you're cooking, when you're doing the dishes at home, turn on some music. Music is really powerful, especially when it's music that you really enjoy, to help build more resilience and calm. Find reading material that you really, really enjoy, that you're really interested in. And even doing 30 minutes a week of just sitting on the couch, put your feet up and read is going to help you be able to bounce back when times are tough. Reframing is extremely powerful. Reframing is when a negative event happens and you could look at it and say, oh, this is a disaster, this is horrible. Or you could reframe it and say, this is a learning opportunity. I just messed up, but this is a learning opportunity. And next time, I will get better. Maybe you're being challenged by something at work right now, and you're getting really frustrated about it. And you can reframe it and say, what's this lesson teaching me right now? In any single event, in any single circumstance, we can always pause, take a breath, and reframe the situation. You've probably heard a lot about gratitude, and it's one of my favorites. What I suggest is that you have a little notebook next to your bed, and 2 or 3 nights a week, just jot down 3 things that you are grateful for. And it's okay if it's the same 3 things over and over, it doesn't matter. But when you notice what you have and are grateful for what you have, it's going to help you during those challenging weeks, months, maybe even years to focus on gratitude. The Dalai Lama says that the #1 predictor of unhappiness is that human beings think too much about themselves. In a way, maybe we're too selfish. And so another aspect, another tool in your toolbox is giving. You can choose to give and help people in your family, your neighbors, in your community, people you work with. You can choose to help animals where you live. You can choose to give time, effort, money to the environment. There are many, many different ways to give. But know that when you dedicate some time to giving and helping others or animals or the earth, whatever you choose to give, it's going to make you stronger inside, and it's going to increase your well-being. And by doing so, again, you are going to inspire others to give as well. And that ripple effect is definitely one we need with the 7 billion or so people here on Earth. I recently heard a man tell his personal story, one of resilience and one of true inspiration that I want to share with you today. This young man had his whole life in front of him. He was just starting out in his career. He was not yet married and dating and having fun. And on one particular day in the city of San Francisco, he was riding his motorcycle through the city. And as he went through an intersection, he was hit by a truck. The bike landed on him and caught on fire. His body was over 60% burned. He had to stay in the hospital for months and months, and on many occasions asked the doctors to just stop. Stop the pain, stop the treatment, to just stop. One of the doctors sat down with him one day and said, "What do you need?" And he said, "I need a little control over my life. Everything I know about life is gone. This doesn't even feel like life. I don't even know whose body this is. This isn't my body. I've been lying in this bed for months and months, and I need some control over my life." And that incredible doctor said, "You got it. From now on, you're in charge of your treatment. You're in charge of when you get this medicine and this therapy and these exercises. You're in charge. You tell us." And man, what a gift that doctor gave him. Because by having a little control, by being able to take small steps on his own towards his goal of getting out of that hospital and being able to live at home again, he started to heal faster. And he started to believe a little more that he could heal. And eventually, after a long time, he got out. He was able to walk. He was able to work. And he decided to move to a beautiful town in the Colorado mountains. Life was going good again. He was happy. He was enjoying his career and his personal life. He was also a pilot. And on one day, he decided to take 4 friends up in the air in his small plane. And he had flown hours and hours and hours. He was a very experienced pilot. And the weather was beautiful that day. It was a beautiful, sunny Colorado day. He went up and instantly knew that something was not right with that plane. And the plane started to fall. And all he could think about was fire. Fire because of his motorcycle accident. And he was screaming, jump out of the plane, get out of the plane, get out of the plane. The plane landed on the ground and the people in the plane were okay. They were able to get out safely. His legs were crushed. He instantly became a paraplegic. He's now in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, never able to walk again. This man that I'm talking about is W. Mitchell. He speaks all around the world on life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to respond. And it's a story of resilience and a story of perseverance. And I know that if someone such as W. Mitchell can still be resilient after really difficult accidents, I sure can too, and so can you. In summary, to supercharge your resilience and to supercharge your success, always know that you can cultivate more. It's something you can grow, just like a garden. You can always grow more resilience. I want you to also remember that the number one prediction of resilience is human connection. Make it a priority and stay connected to the people in your life. And number 3, you have the Arrive at Happy Resiliency Toolbox. You have it forever. It's yours. Use it daily, use it weekly, and share it with the people that you care about. Resilience is a choice. When you are strong, when you're able to bounce back, you inspire everyone around you. And I know that you can cultivate more for the rest of this year and into 2021. I'm doing it with you.